Whenever I sit down to write a review for one of these things, I think about how many views it'll get, how many likes it'll get, and today was no different for the Motorola Moto G6. Except for the fact I realized it doesn't matter what type of phone I have for review. It will get some views and it will get some likes. So with that being said, here are some of my first impressions of this Motorola Moto G6, a big box good I picked up at Best Buy for $199.99. The Motorola Moto G6 is a big box good. For a smartphone, when compared to other devices I have reviewed, it has a sizable 5.7-inch Full HD Plus Max Vision display at a resolution of 1080 by 2160, which is immediately apparent upon startup. On the back of the device is a dual lens camera system, one 12-megapixel f1.8 1.4 dense sensor with face detection autofocus, alongside one 5-megapixel f2.2 depth sensor, which aid with crisp and detailed photo taking or 1080p video at 30 frames per second. Oh, and did I mention a rear-mounted fingerprint sensor? On the front of the device, we get a single 8-megapixel or 16-megapixel selfie camera with LED flash, also capable of video capture up to 1080p at 30 frames per second, great for vlogging in low light. All of this is encased in Corning Gorilla Glass 3 on the front and hard plastic on the back, owing to its somewhat chintzy feel. But it doesn't look chintzy. At the bottom is a 3.5mm headphone jack. Inside is a similar story. Out of the box, the Motorola Moto G6 is running near stock Android, and running the show is the Qualcomm Snapdragon 450 chipset clocked at 1.8 GHz alongside an Adreno 506 GPU, atop 4GB or 3GB of RAM depending on if you opt for the 64 or 32GB memory option respectively. What is left to be desired, however, is Android 9.0 Pie, which isn't coming till sometime this year, and more memory for all of our photos, video games, and music, which means you'll have to wait to grow this device out of its old specifications. Users, you have the option to not only increase the efficiency by upgrading to 9.0 Pie in the future, but also increase the memory capacity from 64 or 32GB to 256GB, a welcomed option. Playing games on the Adreno 506 GPU is subpar. Do not buy this phone if you wish to game on it. That being said, for $200 you are getting a phone with dedicated graphics and one that actually performs well. The Motorola Moto G6 is a well-rounded device. How do I know this? Because on top of being a great device for media consumption, given its 5.7-inch display, photography, its dual camera module, and performance, its dedicated chipset, it comes with Google Docs, slides, and sheets, no questions asked, making this device also great for getting work done on the go. I knew once I bought this device, I was going to get a reasonable product. Reviewers all over the internet have been positive regarding this device, and until I unboxed it and used it for myself, I can now see why. The Motorola Moto G6 is a well-rounded device. It is also a big box good. My name is John. The Motorola Moto G6 is a big box good. You're watching Smartphone Insider.